I've got nothing to be guilty of, and I refuse to be guilty of. And if you're the same, then wear these with pride. Hi, I'm Gabby, and welcome back to another edition of The Fragrantician, where here on my channel I talk about scents, perfumes, things that smell good. And if that's your vibe, and also if you love things that are a bit more vintage, a bit more different, things that maybe don't fit the norm, then you're part of my crowd. So in today's video, I am talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 perfumes that seem to get quite a bit of hate here on YouTube, more than others, and I refuse to hear of it. I am wearing these with pride. Some are quite loved. But if you're part of the AI crowd, as I call them, the en masse crowd, then you may not well like this, and I'm not apologising for it. So let's start with the first scent, shall we? Let's start with the scent that really gets a lot of, that's maligned here on YouTube, and I love it so much. My beloved Angel. I'm starting with the big guns here. This is by Thierry Mugler, Original Vintage Angel, which I am wearing with pride. This is a 50ml. This still is one of my signatures, really. And on this damp, dark, dismal day, I'm going to spray with gay abandon. We're at the end of May and it feels like more like March, really. But I would wear this all year round. I would wear all of these scents all year round. I am not 9 times out of 10 a seasonal scent wearer. And this is the original Eau de Parfum. If you look for a vintage one, look here, because this is where the Thierry Mugler logo will be here, kind of like concave. This is first formula. Same with the box here. Look at the back, the ingredients. Don't we love a box that has maybe like 4 or 5 ingredients? It just music to my ears. Before all of the anti-allergens came into place. This is the candy floss, cotton candy, whatever you want to call it, with patchouli, with everything. It's a chocolate patchouli, and Dr. Claire Smith spoke about Angel Muse being for Sagittarian. I can take that. That's a compliment, and I'll stick with the original Angel. I would wear it day and night. It got me through many a day and night. It got me through hustling. It got me through when I was living in the 90s, trying to get money, trying to make well, back then it was French francs, or now it's euros, trying to make money for what I believed in. This is everything that I believe in and more. It's a rainbow scent. It's my scent. Is it your scent? I know a lot of my subscribers here love it. Some cannot take it. Angel, don't be unapologetic wearing this. Just wear it. And I'm going to talk about a few more here that I think are deserving of being shouted out. Let's talk about Original Vintage Obsession by Calvin Klein, with the old-fashioned sprayer that you spray like from here. Yes, this seems to get, look, these scents, apart from one really, which is, I would probably say, is a modern day scent, these scents, well, more up to date. These perfumes get so much, I don't want to use the word hatred, but they're not really liked. They're not talked about because everything is made en masse. Perfume, has it died? That's a debate in itself. I think perfume hasn't died. It's just become cloned. It's just become a wash of sweet caramel, vanillic, which is fine. And I do love vanilla. But come on, let's talk about true artistry in perfumery. These, when they came out, had a lot of thought that went into them, I think, in the 70s and 80s, some before. But this one was an 80 cent. Kate Moss was the face of it. This is one scent that Richard loves on me. He loves this one. This is probably in his top 5 scents of all time on me. So Obsession. Let's talk about another one that seems to get, that isn't really talked about, and I spoke about it in a previous video. Opium, original one, but this is the Secret de Parfum. This is spices and everything in a bottle. It's not to everybody's taste. I still do have a love-hate relationship with it, but I appreciate it, and I think it needs to be talked about. Came out in 1977. The name itself is forbidden, opium. But the flanker, if you can get hold of it, the Secret de Parfum, is much more. It's got the cloves and the cinnamon, but it's heady and intoxicating, and that's why I think I love it even more than the original opium. It's one that is daring. It's one that you've got to wear with pride. It's one that takes a strong, audacious, bombastic person that does not give two figs and stands up to the world and says, here I am, I'm proud of who I am, I've come this far not to have come this far. This is that type of scent. Opium, the flanker, Secret de Parfum, which I nearly dropped. See? Right, let's talk about another one. Let's talk about Portia Parfum. She spoke about this scent in my live and I wore it to bed and I love it. Elizabeth Arden, Red Door. Yes, it's carnation and it's spicy carnation and I adore it. Who cares if I want to smell like a grandma? Because that's what some of these scents are going to be called, grandma scents. It's only because it was made in an era where kids today weren't born to appreciate when it first came out in the 70s and 80s and 90s. I think 70s and 80s and 90s perfumery was so different. Unlike today. It really was. It really is. And let's celebrate them. No one really talks about Elizabeth Arden Red Door. And I think it's a beautiful scent. Some people are looking at me now thinking, what the hell is she talking about? That's fine. That's your opinion. This is my opinion. And as Mrs. Slocum from Are You Being Served says, I am unanimous in that. Elizabeth Arden, Red Door. Let's talk about 2 Cacharels. Yeah, I'm going to talk about my baby. My number 1 Cacharel scent is Eden in the original vintage box. Beautiful. I have a 100ml vintage here and I'm wearing it with pride. I'm actually wearing it today. Spraying it wherever I friggin' well want to. It is mimosa, it is melon, it is an exotic jungle, it's a complex jungle. It's for a complex person. I am complex. I'm not apologising for being complex. I have different facets. There's a day when I will be smiling like a banshee, like a chimpanzee, and there'll be other days where I'm just sitting there silent, plotting my revenge. Yes, this is Barbara Stanwyck, Double Indemnity, plotting my revenge. Eden, unapologetic. I love the bottle here. Not so overly keen at the top here, but Cacharel bottles are so kitsch. You know, and if you can get a vintage Eden with the Cacharel embossed, there's only 3 ingredients: fragrance, water, and a number. 75% volume. That's what I love to hear. That's how I love my 90s perfumery. This is 90s perfumery, 1994. This came out 30 years ago. And It's meant to represent springtime in a bottle. It's not springtime and it's in a bottle. It's you in a bottle. It's how you perceive yourself to be. When you're not feeling maybe 100%, you spray this, you'll go from 0 to 100%. This is how I feel when I spray this. This is me walking down a corridor at work. Just, yeah, strutting my stride, walking down that catwalk, not putting on an act, but just putting on the person that I was meant to be. This is how this scent makes me feel, how I was meant to be. In my top 5 scents of all time, this, Angel, and actually the next one I'm going to talk about, because I'm going to talk about the most newest one. Lastly, let's talk about semi-vintage Poison, which is in a box which does not have that metallic on the outside. This is from the early 2000s, this bottle. I've been toying with getting an even older bottle, but do you know what? I sprayed this days ago in here. Still smell it in here. This is so maligned, I feel. This is the original Eau de Toilette. I am thinking about getting the Esprit de Parfum, which I think is a 15ml or 30ml bottle. Might be a 30ml bottle. You can get a perfume extract, which I've been told is the nearest thing to the original vintage, which you can still buy. I think that's in a 15ml bottle. This is the original Eau de Toilette, early 2000s formula. This is when I was wearing this. I didn't wear this in the early 80s. No, mid 80s when this came out, or even in the 90s. But to me, this is stewed plum with tuberose and incense and coriander and it's an eye roll head turner perfume. Some people say it's a femme fatale perfume. And actually, I was answering one of my subscribers earlier saying, you know, it may not have been perceived as a femme fatale fragrance then. We all wore it back then. Fragrance then was different. The ingredients listing was different. The marketing was different. The whole setup was different. It's become this sweet generic mishmash of a hodgepodge of silliness. This had vision behind it, and it had a goal, and boy did it meet a goal. When Dior was not performing as a brand, this came out, they marketed it well. I think it came out about August time of 85, just set for autumn, and then boom, it exploded for the rest of the 80s and the 90s. It made Dior a lot of money. All of the eau de colognes, the Esprit de Parfum, the odor this and odor that, whatever, ones they bought out before they bought out Flanker, which was Tender Poison, which I have, and then Hypnotic Poison, and then Pure Poison, and Midnight Poison, and all of the other flankers of those. This started it all. The best line of signature scents in Dior. Let me say that again. The best scent line of signature scents in Dior, period. Forever. This is it. If you can get your hands on a semi-vintage or vintage one, this performs, this one of the early 2000s, off the Richter scale. 10 hours plus on the skin, sillage like you would not believe. But I will wear this in the daytime or the evening. I will wear this at work. And I've worn it to work, got compliments, because some people, they malign it, and then when they do smell it, that's really lovely. Well, I'm wearing Dior. Really? Dior Poison? Yes, I am. Really? Yes, I am. Now get over it and suck on another lemon. Moving on to the final scent. Yes, this may come as a surprise. This is Fairy Dust by Paris Hilton. This has been described as old school style. for a celebrity scent because of the white florals in here. Who cares? Who gives a damn? The bottle alone I love. The bottle alone I was attracted to. Gothic, fairy, slightly impishness. If you love an A&A, you probably may well love this kind of scent. It's that kind of style. It is vintage. It is very Art Deco as well, this kind of scent. It throws back to a different kind of era, a bit like the Kim Kardashian original one. But this one I had to include. I don't know what Paris Hilton was thinking when she bought this out, because she was easily in her mid-20s when this came out. Would somebody in their mid-20s wear this? Hell yeah. Would somebody in their mid-80s wear this? Hell yeah. Age has no agenda on scent. Gender has no agenda on scent. Seasons have no agenda on scent. Let's get this, let's just get this out there. If you don't agree with that, that's absolutely fine. But you're wrong and I'm right. So moving on. Yes, I'm Sagittarius. Yes, I'm free-spirited. Yes, I'm crazy. And that's how I roll. And I'm feeling like this today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, I'm feeling bipolar, and who cares? I'm just putting it out there. 8 cents that get hated on, get ratted on. What was that show? Ratchet. Nurse Ratchet. They're not Nurse Ratchet. They are. Do you know what? Actually, I've got another scent I'm going to talk about here. Let me just get it. I am going to talk about, while I am here, Lulu by Cacharel. Yes, if you love Lulu, but sometimes you can't really take Poison by Dior. This is on a similar veil, but I think this head turner, again, vintage bottle I have here, from the very early 90s. I adore Lulu. I think it is just, this is more smoky than Dior Poison, whereas Dior Poison has more of that white floral, coriander, spicy vibe. This does, but there's more smokiness to it. I actually think this is more. I actually think maybe Dior Poison is more wearable than Lulu. That's just my opinion. It's sharp. It's intoxicating. It's love it, hate it, revered, scathed. Everything that I adore, and I will continue to adore and continue to fight for in the fragrance industry. Are you like me? Are you looking at these scents thinking, hell yeah, let's just give them a round of applause for the appreciation that they deserve, rather than a bottle of, I don't know, all of the other fragrances that I see today are just, they're not like it anymore. What's happened to the fragrance industry? Has it just, who are the people that are controlling the fragrance industry now? The world in general. I try to understand, but the world today, I could talk about a completely different topic, but the world today, sometimes I just want to bring back where I was a kid rolling around in dirt, not worried about who was going to come for me and who was, going out at night just until the lights came on, and then I would go home. And just a sense of, and I think these perfumes, they evoke a little bit of nostalgia, but they're not making me feel melancholy. They're making me feel, yes, this is a part of my history. Yes, this is a part of our history. This is fragrance artistry that we should applaud. Until next time, you've been watching. You've been watching another edition of the Fragrantician. Remember to spray with gay abandon. Spray these fragrances at your own will. Who cares? It's only your opinion that matters at the end of the day. And until the next video, I'll see you in the next one, my chickens. Till then, ciao for now.